And I have returned. Welcome back. For those of you watching the VODs on YouTube, hello. We are about to do beautiful things with Rails. I hope and pray that we are about to do some beautiful things with Rails. Also, I have a kitten in my lap right now. I've got the doll, my dolly, my pretty girl, the pretty dolly. She wants to be with me right now, today. Yes, that's the pretty dolly. That's the pretty girl. Yes, you can be right on my lap. Get some attention. She wanted some attention, so she's got some attention now. Alright, I am actually in the process of processing some wonderful stuff known as sulfuric wastewater. And it looks like I need more pipe. Hi. Brr. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirpy, chirpy. You're chirpy, chirpy girl? Are you gonna chirp on the green screen? Yes. Yes, she is. She gave her answer. Yes. Absolutely. She's going to jump on the back of on the green screen on the bar at some point. Yeah, you're watching? You're watching me? You see yourself? Do you see yourself in the preview? Anyway. Let's see what I need here. What do I need here? Pipe. I'm looking for pipe. Pipe? Pipe? You're pawing. No, you're not. You're not going to go to the bookcase. You're not going to go on top of the bookcase. She's trying to paw her way. Oh, there she goes onto the floor. She was trying to like pull the curtain back so that she could get onto the top of my bookcase, which I have a whole bunch of amiibo on that bookcase. On top of it, I call it a bookcase. It's technically a media cabinet that houses a lot of my, most of my uh, light novel and manga collection. One of my cases for it. Yes, you're trying to get there. I'm gonna make you go further away. You're gonna go further away. That's my girl. That's my girl. She's absolutely gonna try to climb, and I'm sitting at a very odd, weird angle. But hey, you've got kitten. You've got yeah, meow. You've got 6-month-old kitten. Being a kitten. Being a female kitten. Yes. Very jumpy, very active, very playful. Pipe. You there. I need all of you. And you. I need power. Power is great. I like power. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I see it in those eyes. I see it in your whole setup there. I see it. You're gonna you're processing. You're processing what you're gonna do. I know it. I see the wheels are turning. The wheels are spinning. She's looking up at the bar of the green screen. Uh, yes, there. Sure. Fine. So, is there a use for mineralized water? Is there a real use of mineralized water? Nah. 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 Not for the moment. Later. Later, potentially, if I want to convert crystal slurry into mineral sludge. I don't see much of a point to that. She actually left. Wow. She was better girl today than usual. So, yeah. I don't think I'm going to be doing this. I don't think I'm going to be doing this. This setup right here that I've just made is perfect. Actually, it's coal. It is coal. I am spending coal and getting sulfur out of this process. This thing that I just set up briefly. It's temporary build, but it's going to be a consistent supply of sulfur forever, just as long as I have the power for it. This mineralized water, I don't actually really see myself doing anything involving the Angel's bioprocessing. I've never seen a reason to do anything involving Angel's bioprocessing. So why would I bother? Like, unless it's 100% necessary to complete the game, no. No. Also, someone had brought up the potential to have the fighters off, but have the artifacts enabled. The, like, alien artifact system thing enabled, and that you could get them out of doing, like, the biotic stuff here. The reason why I don't do that is because I don't like it. I mean, it's as simple as that. I don't like the entire concept of the artifact thingy. It adds unnecessary elements of complexity. It's a little bit of a step too far, really. That takes it in a different direction than the rest of the stuff that you're doing. I'm okay with having all of the major petrochemical stuff and changes and all that. That's all good, but you're getting into that all that extra bioprocessing, and it's like I'm not playing a pie sweet game. I'm not doing that in this particular setup here. So no. However, I do know that in this past year, at some point, nitric wastewater gives a solid output now. That's new to me, in that this actually gives a solid out. I think that all of the, like, acid waters now have this solid output, which is just fascinating to me. That was not the case. That has not always been the case. Sulfur, fluoric, nitric. There was one other. What's the other one? Could have sworn there was another one. Wastewater. Chloric. That's the one. Can we please give... Yes, thank God. Okay. That was the other major one. Between the nitric and the chloric not having a solid output that helps feed back some stuff from the nitrogen or the chlorine, I was like, what? Why you know this? We now get salt out of chloric wastewater, which is great because then you can feed it back into more saline or electrolyze to get chlorine, which apparently is not crafted in anything in this particular recipe. But yeah, we can actually loop stuff now, which is what I was hoping for. Hoping beyond hope. Because we can pretty consistently get a supply of chloric wastewater out of Cortinium refining. Apparently you also get it out of this enrichment processing. And yeah, it was just always disappointing that processing in a hydro plant into purified water never made any sense. You just voided the chloric wastewater. Now there's at least the salt that you can get out of it, the item salt, which can feed back into some stuff. That I do enjoy. I do enjoy that. Hey, there we go. Now we have to do something with the sulfur. So sulfur, solid sulfur, isn't used for too awfully much. It is going to get used in chemical science, but my intention, I think, is that I'm just not going to do this until I've set up my entire rail system as a separate thing, and I'm going to have a zone, a factory that is doing this and making sulfur. I'm going to have a separate factory of this for making sulfur exclusively. That is, I think, going to be my intention. Also quite useful that I've got that, then the coke coming in. Because this is infinite. It's coal in, sulfur out. So, I need additional liquefiers to make sulfuric acid. And then to do additional processing. So, we're not done yet. More liquefiers. I now need to process this 1.125 sulfur, or not even 1.125, 1 sulfur. I can actually just completely eliminate one of these because this is going to be exactly 100. Because this is going to be 4 into 4, and that should be 100 into 100. Let me grab you. You are going to be taking stuff and making things. Ah, that's a way to get into sulfur dioxide. Interesting. Yeah, you're going to... Oh, it's not you. Right, it's actual chem plants. It's these. I need steel and iron for those. Doot 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 doot. Doot doot. How's that rail going? Just fine. The machine is operating as quickly as the inserter can insert, and that is the ideal situation. How many units total? 2,500. That should be decent for a start. Of course, a whole... Oh, I forgot to limit you. Alright, I've got a few train stops to last for quite some time. A few train stops. I think I want to have a bit bigger of a buffer on the loaders and unloaders. Bulk rail loaders and unloaders. Yeah, that's okay. I can make my rail system now, I think. Oh, I could use more of you. Why? Oh. What? How? The inserter got stuck holding a engine unit, and this got full of engine units. I must have done a Shift-C and shoved all my engine units in various things at the exact wrong moment, causing things to get stuck. That will need gear wheels. Yeah, all my gear wheels are getting used off of everything else thus far. Eventually, the gear wheels will stop being used by stuff up here, but... Yeah, at the rate I'm using things, that's gonna take a while. In fact, gear wheels are gonna get used, they get used in science, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. So I do have a bit being used there consistently. I think I can go ahead and connect one more machine doing that conversion. I do like the steel. It has started to flow a bit more. Go ahead and shift C up here. Let's get rid of some things from the inventory. Clean up some space of stuff I do not need. The bots are taking stuff away. I should have, yeah, this chest here for things. For the stuff and the things. Okay. I want... what? Where did I park the car? All the way up there. Great. I left my car behind. As usual, I left my car behind, the faster vehicle. Do I really want to use the faster vehicle for building out the train system? That'll be a thing we do right now because it's been long enough. I now have the resources. We have successfully stalled for long enough to have access to the stuff to build my rail system. I hate leaving things like in the middle, but so that means that I am going to go ahead and do the chem plant stuff here. That is a lot of recipes I have access to in a chemical plant right now. Wow. I need that into that. With an extra space. So it's 2 of you. What even is that ratio? What? 1 into 60 sulfur dioxide. So I need to process 60, that is 1, with sulfuric acid. That makes sulfuric acid, so that's all fine. Da 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 da. Alright, I need a source of purified water of 35 purified water. That this does make enough purified water for the cycle, I think. So I could shove this behind a overflow valve. There. There's that stuff. I will need a supply of oxygen. So, oxygen. The glorious oxygen. I have that. Way up high. Or I could just make another electrolyzer. Or place another electrolyzer. Except this time it would be processing purified water. How much do I need? A lot. Okay, that actually does change a little bit. So if I do purified water electrolysis, I end up with no slag output, which is key. Is there a better way? Just... nah. I could do this with nitrogen in advanced chem... What? I thought there was a building for this. An actual different building for this. What? I thought it was this. Advanced chem plant. What? Hold up. That makes no sense. Pretty sure air filter was a thing. do stuff. Advanced chem plant? Oh, right, compressed air into nitrogen oxygen. Yes. That's also regular chem plants. You don't need the advanced chem plant. That's fine in the advanced ones. You need the thingy to get the air, and then you can get the chem plant to separate the air into nitrogen and oxygen. If I did this route, it would be I would need 3 and 8. I think I could get away with 2, but yeah. So, which way is better? Well, this uses 155, 150 times 8 plus 250 times 3. Or just under 2 megawatts. This would be 10 by 300 or 3 megawatts, along with having to void the extra stuff through both processes, and I need to provide water. So, what's the better way to get oxygen? Air filtering. It uses a bit more space, but it uses less power. That's what makes it ideal. A lot more ideal for getting the oxygen and for getting nitrogen just in general. You'll need to do that. Air filtering anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I should have the chem plants, but I'll go ahead and make another one just in case. Grab all of that steel. That's glorious steel. Absolutely glorious steel. And then 1 flare stack is fine to process this. So 8. Oops. So 8 of the doohickeys. Right, I will move you down to there. I'll keep that off to the side. So these can live like that. That's a lot of distance. I have to go out the side there. So these just make compressed air. That's their full purpose in life. Just give them power and they do stuff. Then I needed how many? 3 of these chem plants. Not that spacing. I need to remember to keep the side that does the voiding on the outside to make it a little bit easier to place the flare stack. Flare stack? Hello? Flare stack. Oops. Flare stack. Do that thing right there. Make me more pipes. Love pipes. I would like to get into the upgraded version of pipes, but I would actually prefer getting into the plastic pipes. Plastic pipes are I think my favorite of all the Bob's pipes just by their color alone. They're one of the easiest types of upgraded types of pipes that you can get in infinite supplies. There are better pipes with better max lengths that you can get later, but these are, I think, one of the easiest and most versatile to use overall. Pretty sure that hasn't changed. at all at any point. So there's oxygen. Oxygen now exists, has been included, and I now have thingies. It would be nice to have a tank to shove this into. So this holds how much? 200,000 units of stuff, 150 units of stuff. This is sulfuric acid, making it the liquid. So we'll use the petrochem oil tank. Sure. Why not? What about the Jax tank? The Jax tank is actually my favorite overall. This holds 350,000 units of fluid. I'm going to use the Jax tank. Jax tank is just best. Best tank. Best tank, biggest tank. Storage tank, all corners. Interesting. But it only holds 25k. The Jaxiest of Jax tanks. It will get pumped into... if I have pumps. Pump, 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 pump. Need a pump. Need a pump. Need a pump. Pump. Really? That's better pump. That is better pump. What about basic pump? This is supposed to be basic pump, but for some reason artisanal reskins or something is like marking this as a level 2 thing when it shouldn't be. Pumping speed 4,800. Ah. I see. That's low by comparison to a vanilla pump, which is like 12,000 units per second on a standard vanilla pump. Anyway, pump. Pump glorious things. Gib stuff. Gib stuff. Now we are ready for rails. There's sulfuric acid. Just as a by the way, we have sulfuric acid now, so it's significantly easier. I can just make my... Well, still a little bit more complexity, but I could get into the mineral catalysts at this point. It's just I would need to do the whole stupidity of the filters and stuff, and the yeah. Production of slag, production of coal filters / cycling of coal filters and into the mineral, well, into the slag slurry or sludge or whatever the hell the actual thing is, that then gets crystallized into the mineral catalyst. And I have to bring in gibbolite, and I have to bring in the stereotype crushed versions of both of those, and then ore sort for iron, and then all of the angels processing of that iron ore. So we've got a little bit of stuff to think about and do. Where did I park the actual car? So the thing about nanobots is that the nanobots... I don't remember. Do they even have access to the stuff that's in the thing? Maybe. But what I do know is that I want to carry around things. Stacks of things. Gib that. Gib that. Gib. I have that already. Yes, I do. Gib all of it. AUOL, all the stuff. And the things. Give me back my belt. I want my belt. I wanted to put in the poles, not the belt. Gib stuff. I like stuff. I like rails. Rails are awesome. I will take... Really? Still only Bebs! Ah! Stupidity with the stupid engine units. Why? Why is it doing that? Why does it always get stuck? Because I shift C and I put engine units in the doohickey and ah. Here. Take all of my engine units. I don't want to see them again. Don't hold on to engine units. Note to self. Just gib locomotives. I want locomotives with wagons. I don't want these. I don't want these. I want these. Crawler locomotives. Because better. Because better. Awesome. Awesomeness. You aren't doing things because stone bricks aren't being provided. Oh. Oh? Nope. No bricks? No bricks, huh? Well, we'll see about getting you some bricks through whatever line that is at some point. For now, though, rails. Okay, it's past time for starting up this whole set of stuff with rails. Fortunately, I have options. I think will do the exact same thing as I am doing in my other playthrough, my Factorio series. So I'm going to take these two blueprint books, which I am directly pulling from my Factorio playthrough, by the way, and I will be using this stuff that I have already designed, this pre-designed stuffs, which should have seamlessly integrated all of the vanilla stuff into the Bob's versions of stuff. So all of the medium power poles should be the medium power poles that I have access to now, and all the big power poles should be all the big power poles I have access to now. The only thing is that I'm not sure about the distance on the wires holding up. It looks like the standard power pole distance off of the blueprint book works, but not this medium power pole distance. In fact, this hasn't even updated the medium power pole power range, maybe? No, it is, but yeah, so the poles are a little bit off on my personal blueprint book, but the foundation blueprints, these should work fine, because all the wires on the... Oh, oh! Do you see it? I see it. I see the problem. I see it! It's within the length of the yellow and green wires, but there's no copper wire. There's no copper wire between those. I need a test with a straight rail segment. Alright, that has it. That has that yellow wire. Pretty sure I saw it. Yes, it's fine. Okay. Phew. Phew. It has it. It has it. Need to make sure that I sit a little bit higher because I keep going lower and having my chin cut off. Yeah. Stuff, things. Yeah, alright, give that back to me. That's not the location for you. I need signals. Alright. Time to build. Time to build rails. I want a primary line going north-south right here. That's what I want initially. Is just this north-south line. Advanced iron smelting 2 is done. Yay! Give me the copper smelting 2, as well as tin and lead, and I guess I will need aluminium sooner rather than later. We could do this one to get the silicon sorting. Although this is going to start using the crystal catalysts. That's a completely different process to get into those on a consistent basis. We also need concrete bricks at that point. Whatever. So many techs. Can I just point that out? So many techs at this level of science. This is a huge science level. Yeah, so now we just have to ride around, build out with nanobots all of the rails here, or as many rails as I have. And I need to think about what I'm going to tap into, where I'm going to start building my factories and all of that, actually hook up power onto this, occasionally put radars down, etc., etc. I will tap into this Givelite, so this is Mine Me. I will tap into this Crotinium. I will tap into that coal. Or that one. No, that's 860M versus 2.9G. Yeah, I think I know which one I want to tap into. Rubite, there's a 2.7G there. There's this 3.3G here, but it's much smaller. I think the Rubite's gonna have to be that one. Bobmonium. Best Bobmonium would be that one of the stuff that I can see. Stereotype, we have plenty of options, so I guess that will be the steer. Well, I also have to think about how the train stations are going to be set up, where the train stations are going to be, what space I actually have for the train stations. So if I want to mine this and this, I will have a train. I will have the belt line probably here, right in here, with a train station here and a train station here. So if I have the train station here for this, I can still mine it. So mine. Mime? No, mine me. And then Saphirite, let's, instead of having everything being on one side like this, let's put the Saphirite out here. Let's get that one going. I could get this one, but that's a lot of stuff altogether like this. I mean, we've literally got everything here. We've got Givelite, Bobmonium, Saphirite, Stereotype, Rubite. Only thing missing is Crotinium of this set, and it's like right up there and over there of all the resources. But it's not much Rubite in terms of volume, and not much Givelite, not much of the two there, not really much Crotinium grand scheme. In fact, I may want to tap into a different Protinium, like that one, rather than this one. This one's 1.3, that one's 4.5 G. That'll last a lot longer. Just like all this other coal will last a lot longer. Speaking of coal, I will also need infinite power going forward. So, what to tap into first? I'm going to need this rail line to go up a bit, and to go over, so that I can actually tap into this Saphirite. I want to tap into the Saphirite first, so we're about to place a ton of rail to actually reach to the places that I want to reach to. And by doing this, as a side note, I also want to plot down and connect to the main power grid. Just want to make sure that all of this exists on the main power grid. By doing this, I'll end up with a lot of area of where I can make factories. I can place factories down, which is another thing that I completely, totally intend here to do. Turns out I've been missing these signals on the outside, so let's place those. Try to get myself a little bit better centered on things. Almost ready to make our turn. Almost ready to make our turn. Right around here. Let's do it on the opposite side of this oil patch. That'll be one more, and then a turn. And then straight rails from here. So the diagonal rail segment that you saw there, that's disabling a signal, is there so that you can have multiple intersections next to each other without having to worry about a standard rail signal being activated when you need a chain signal in that specific circumstance. It will add the chain signal for you through this blueprint book, which is one of the good main reasons I like this blueprint book, is it does take into account as you're overlaying intersections over the regular straight rail segments. It will actively disable stuff so that you don't have to remember and manually go place or remove the redundant / unnecessary segments of signals. The unnecessary signals. I do enjoy this for that. And you know, since I've come all the way out here with this rail, I'm going to tap this. That's going to get tapped. Absolutely. Instead of this one. We're going to delete that. We're going to tap into these two out here. The coal, there is much better coal out here. I will mine this coal. I'll probably mine both. I'll mine everything. Everything will get mined. All of it. All of the everything. How many radars do I have on me? / how many can I make? A few. So I will radar the hell out of everything thus far that I have built. So all of these rails are going to have... Can I go one more? No, I can go to there. They're going to have radars periodically. I do understand that radars have upgraded mark levels with fobs that are better over time, and I will probably not retrofit. I will probably not retrofit to those, but for now... So for now, we are going to be doing this as is. Place that there. Keep moving on. So congratulations, we have our rails. We have a main rail line placed, quote unquote main rail line. Then we have to do something with it, right? We have to actually do a thing with this rail line. What are we going to do with it? Well, we're going to put raw resources onto trains. So this will be very similar to the Crastorio playthrough in how I'm building this. In the Crastorio playthrough that I'm doing on YouTube right now, I have ores being loaded directly onto trains, and then I have a separate location I separately process them. And I definitely want to do separate processing. With angels, there is a bit of an extra consideration. There's an extra consideration to make, and that is the concept of there are several steps of processing of the base ores, the rawest of raw ores, so of the sapphirite, of the crotinium, etc. There are many levels of processing there, and individual ore sorting acts upon various stages of that processing. So, what I think I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to have completely separate facilities for each and every single ore type for each and every single separate step of processing, all loading onto trains. That's what I think I'm going to be doing here. So we'll have the base ores getting mined and put onto trains. They're going to be going out to a crushing facility. So I'll have, I think there's 6 base resources here. Sapphirite, stereotyte, Balmonium, Rubite, Crotinium, and Gibolite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus coal. So 6 crushing facilities, 6 flotation facilities, 6 leaching facilities, and 6 whatever it's called, crystallization facilities. At the very end, there's 4 different processes: floating, leaching, and then whatever crystallizing. For making purified stuff, it's refining, thermal refining. Okay, sure. You get crystals out of leaching, and you get chunks out of flotation. Based off of real processes, by the way, on here, but not generally on fantasy ores, on real ores. We're talking that these types of processes are used to refine, get purer and purer forms of metals, usually, that then go through the process of casting. Once you've purified your metals, you then cast your metals. Ah, boy. And you're able to get better and better things. So we're going all the way out back to the we're not actually going to go all the way out back to there because I need mining drills. But we'll set the train station. That's what we'll do. Train station. Train stations, plural. We've got a few things out here to do with train stations. I should have enough rail for the train stations. Pretty sure, so that'll be good. And by doing it this way, just as another note, will help with... It will make sure that I have all of my stuff, right? It'll make sure that I have all of the various elements, the chunks, the crystals, the purified crystals, and the crushed versions of the things. I'll have all of those. I'll only have the ones that I need for crystallization, because you don't need to go through all of the steps for all of the ore types. That's the other key thing. Tungsten is the only one that is the only ore type that uses purified anything. So I only need 3 of the 6 to go all the way up to purified. Like, technically, I only need 3 of the 6 to get up to tungsten. I would like to do the thorium just as a side note. The thorium ore sorting, that's going to need ferrous and cupric crystals. But... yeah, that's through a completely separate process that is processing. So we need ferrous anodizing. Ferrous anodizing. That makes no sense. Okay. Anodized ferrous seedling. Okay. From ferric chloride solution, which is iron ore and hydrogen chloride. Okay, so I need to provide iron ore on my network. I will be, by the way, if I'm going to be separating steps. And then this is going to need a ferrous slurry from a crystals. So that's not purified crystals. That's the step prior to that. All right. The ferrous dust from sludge, from chunks, from powder, from crushed. Okay. Now I know. I need more tech. More tech! Let's just do more tech. Oh hey, it's saline from water in salination plants that I can't make until I have electric circuit boards and concrete and aluminium and brass. I have none of these things. None of these things are things that I have. I guess I can unlock some of this bioprocessing stuff, even though I don't really plan on using it right now. Grinding! Oh yes, that's important. Gem processing is incredibly useful. Oh, they changed it, didn't they? Oh, goodness. Did you change this? I do need to get an ferric chloride solution for modules, by the way. That is one. Yes, you did. Oh boy. Oh boy, they made it harder. Of course they made it harder. Of course. Harmonic crystal splinters. Oh boy. Crystal shards. Why? Okay, that's hamper. That's a hamper. That is different. Different. Very different. So what I'm used to is these taking gems, not splinters. Not splinters. Splinters. I'm used to gem processing, like diamonds. Diamonds. Yes. And yeah, that right there, polished ruby, diamond. That's where I'm used to things. That's where I'm used to the gems. That's what I was thinking, because that's the same as a year ago. Gems into this at the final step of the processing. Now you need these things that are splinters, and that is an entirely new process to me to look at. Completely new. So what is involved in these? That is the question. Worth going through every process that makes them. Yes, I dang well hope so. Crystal powder is done anyway, because that is going to be my source of crystal seedlings. Yeah, they're like pialite, I imagine. Yeah. Crystal powder is the crushing of geodes, right? So that's going to be definitely my source of the seedling for crystal catalysts. Um, I would imagine. Then to do the stuff here, you need. Oh, it also outputs crystal powder from this too. So there's that. Or am I thinking of something completely separate, and it's just this is crystal powder now? Cut blue splinters, red splinters, green splinters. Why does it give all three equally? Why do you give all three equally? Can I convert? Can I convert? Please convert. From cut into polished. Oh boy. So we need polluted artificial fish water to make raw crystal splinter. The raw crystal splinter cutting will produce 3 things, plus powder. You then need to use powder to make grindstone. Note that you get 1 powder out of this to make grindstone, 1 grindstone, that you then have a 2/3 chance of getting back by polishing with crystal slurry, I might add. Which, again, crushing crystals makes crystal slurry from geode processing back here. Oh, so yeah, I'm thinking of course, I'm thinking of crystal dust and not crystal powder. So, yeah, there's that. I was thinking of crystal dust. You can void excess crystals to dust or something. I would hope so, but that is not at processing 1. That is... you can apparently make a crystal seed out of crystal dust. The different crystal dust. That makes stuff. That mills into crystal powder, cut crystals. So you can mill down to crystal powder from cut versions of things. Oh, look, biter refugiums. So, yeah, because this is a thing now that makes you need to use these biter refugiums, that is, I think, the same building that would get you your biotic way of, like, actual build way of getting into the alien artifacts if you had alien artifacts installed or enabled. So this is using a thing similarly to that. Yes, definitely bioprocessing with a butchery there. I'm pretty sure that King Arthur is responsible for some of this. I would imagine that King Arthur is responsible and to blame for some of this. At least I'm going to blame King Arthur for it. Just blame King. Always blame King. It's usually his fault. Yes, I will have a T intersection right here as I continue on my merry way. That's a thing to think about later, not right now. So, I was going to mine you, and you, and you. I need a train station here, and somewhere around here, and somewhere... Wow, hello. That's rubite. That's a beautiful rubite. That is a much better rubite. Ooh. Ooh, much better rubite. Right up there. That's very tempting. That's very tempting. Also, I'm putting all these radars down so that more stuff gets revealed, so that ideally I find a source of gas. I want the gas. I need the gas wells. I've got all these multi-phase oil wells, but not a single patch of gas wells anywhere. Which, yeah, the only gas wells I have are here. 5 of them in the starting zone. Like, what? What? Let's see. So that's not the train station. That's the train station that I need. And it needs to be there. So reveal for me. The stuffs. There you go. And that. There. Ta-da! It's nifty having a little, just a station that can load stuff for you. Aha! See, that's the thing about the distance. It is slightly... See, again, this is off because of the difference between Prastorio and this. There. That works. I'll have to adjust that at some point. Probably just copy the whole thing here and replace the doohickey in my game blueprints. Get that done just like that. Oops. I hit a thing! Oh noes! And I need you to have a doohickey. Radar. Radar, glorious radar. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy all that, put it into my blueprint book, like so. That will allow me to mine crotinium. But I'm not actually going to be mining the crotinium yet. I'm going to do that much later. It's just I have that station prepared and ready to go. Yeah, does this become a main vertical line? I think so. Yes, this will become a main vertical line. So if I do I need to adjust this one as well. Maybe. Maybe? Actually, no, I think this one's fine. So the mirrored version has okay stuff. I don't need to redo that. By the way, that mirrored version, this, excuse me, too close to existing rail signal. Ah, right. So this is supposed to be a little bit further away. I suppose. Just in the way that I designed it initially. So, why does this have, like, things like this? Why is it built like this? This is built like this. Because I used the blueprint flip and turn mod to flip this version of blueprint. And then I had to make adjustments. Many adjustments. Because it flips, but it does not accurately reflect the difference in signals. So you have to manually redo all the signals once you flip a rail blueprint. And yeah, that's a bit, it's a bit of stuff and things. It's work. It's work to properly get all those signals going. I'm pretty sure this is fine. We've got all the signals all the time. Everywhere. All the signals everywhere. I would rather that guy be cleared to leave, go down, even though that's not a full train distance. Alrighty then. Also, any chain signal I place along the way is superfluous. This is going to be the end of the line anyway, so any other chain signal that goes down here without any other incoming intersection or any of that, it's not necessary. Not in the slightest. I want them to sit back here. They'll never sit anywhere near other chain signals further down like that. So yeah, I think that's okay. I can start tapping this sapphirite at this point if I so desire. Let's just kill that. I don't want that thingy placed right there. All right, let's get a radar down. Right about there. And I will, of course, load all of the everything onto a locomotive. These hold a lot, as it turns out, 60 units of stuff each in these cargo wagons. This guy can take a whole variety of different types of fuel. I will give you stuff at some point, but not right now. Or maybe give you some of that stuff. This does remind me that I need to actually have a fuel stop added onto my rail network with fuel. That will be elsewhere. That will probably be off of this guy. Actually, I'll likely have a fuel stop set up right around here. Maybe one up here as well, just periodically, but I need to provide the fuel for that. As I see an Ollie. Ollie has climbed the other chair in this office, making even more holes in it. He appears to be full of energy. Glorious energy. Alright, you are S. Sapphirite. Or 1. Supplying the Sapphirite. And this will be the depot for the Sapphirite Ore 1. Who knows? Maybe the only one in this entire base. The only provider of ore in the whole base, because this is a bit big. It's a bit big. I could do tier 2 mining drills, or I could not. Which is best for now? Probably the not versions. As a side note, the large area mining drills are not useful to me in a game that isn't using the infinite ores. The primary reason I would use a large area mining drill, because they are slower, is to get that little bit of extra reach for the Angel's Infinite Ores. If you have that with RSO, it sort of puts Infinite Ores in the middle of the ore patches. I would use this to maximize the output of an Angel's Infinite Ores ore setup. However, you do need to be very careful in the current state of the game if you do use Angel's Infinite Ores, because in the developers' infinite stupidity, they decided that infinite percentage-based ores would, instead of giving the standard single unit ore output in a cycle, would end up giving you multiple units of ores in a cycle, dependent upon the percentage of the specific tile that has been mined. So in the case of a highly dense infinite ore patch of several thousands of units of percentage on that ore patch, a mining drill on that patch will give you insane amounts of stuff of ore output in a single cycle. Just an immense amount of stuff in a single cycle. It's basically put down 2 mining drills and you're off to the races. You have an entire throughput belt of whatever belt you're using just by placing down 2 mining drills in the current state of the infinite ore stuff. So yeah, this is the primary reason I am not doing anything with Angel's Infinite Ores, even though I like having infinity amounts of stuff and don't like moving around my mining drills all that much. I'm still preferring to do the very highly dense patches rather than the truly infinite patches, just because of that stupid behavior and decision that the developers made in regards to all of that. So I need like fish stuff to do the thing initially for modules. I guess, and it might not matter what type of fish I need. Which, by the way, this sort of also implies that I need fish for this, and I don't have a map with fish. With lots of stuff. I need a way to get more fish. So this gives... This is fish plus pulp plus artificial fish water equals less fish plus polluted artificial fish water. Fish petting. We are petting fish. Yes, we are petting fish. And apparently killing them in the process of petting them. It's the next level that you get fish breeding. That is the one that I would need to do. Pulp plus water plus fish equals more fish and polluted fish water. Why would I ever do this then? Just have both of them to like even out the fish supply, I guess, because there's no solid output of stuff. This is a little close to the patch. I'm going to load from the opposite side instead, so that I can have like other warehouses to do sorting. That's a big requester chest, not a sapphirite warehouse, which is what I would want, or a silo. Sapphirite, yes, sapphirite silos. Oh boy. So this should be like, yeah, 30 into 15, etc. It's a standard stuff on this. And since I have access to the medium electric poles, now what I can do is just like roll on down the line there and do that, and this should work out. How many is that? 22. We're gonna cut that. Paste it on the horizontal so that I can scale it in future. Well, I say scale it in future, but we're totally gonna be doing everything on this patch. I need 4 more. On each side. And we're gonna go out the other direction. Because going up the middle sounds like a terrible idea. Hey, we've got stuff. It's moving. It lives. It's alive! Alright, into that glorious sapphirite silo that I have built. There we go. Let's do it this way. So over time, I'm going to end up with much faster belts. I'm also going to end up with the Mark II stuffs, and yeah, I'll eventually be limited by the speed of the bulk loaders. But hey, We've got things. It's doing its job. Doing the job. This isn't finished because I do need to assign the train a set schedule, but I also need to have a fuel source for it before I can really get to using it. Also, train supply manager GUI needs to be enabled so that I can be like, hey, Saphirite, where's that ore? Saphirite. Again, this Saphirite should have 2 Ps. Saphirite should absolutely have 2 Ps. Just going to throw that out there. Decrote ore 1 on all these. Escrote ore 1. So that we have named our things. And that is the very beginning of what will be the glorious rail base. S Saphirite, D Saphirite. Full cargo circuit condition. You can do your thing. It apparently needs to do a U-turn. This is the downside of using this particular set of rail blueprints. You see the problem? There's no easy U-turn. No easy U-turn for the trains. Let's just get techs, I guess. Just grab a whole bunch of stuff. Grab basic movement speed, apparently, that I never grabbed before. Yeah, so there's no fuel stop 1. It doesn't matter yet. It will, but not yet. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $30 should be 15 per second, which is half of a yellow belt. Half of this yellow belt in this state of things. My yellow belts go 30 per second, the gray belts go 15. So I can upgrade this to Mark II and get the full throughput 30 per second. And it'll be glorious. Absolutely glorious. But I want, like, all of them on the entire patch. So, yeah. Stuff. I can get rid of that Mind Me reminder now because I think it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. I need more fuel as well. I guess I'll put more fuel into the car. Notice how nanobots will grab stuff from the car first, it looks like. That's just what it looks like to me. I cut that off for a reason. Hello, glass. Now to head on back to resupply with a few things. I would like more stuff. More stuff, as always. We can see that the tank has 49,000 units of sulfuric acid just hanging out. Being nifty. Okay. We have arrived. Why? Is it a stack size thing? I don't understand. Why is this inserter attempting to insert an engine unit beyond the item stack size of the engine units into this thing? Or beyond the amount that it can store in the building? That I don't understand. It's happened every single time, every single cycle. See? It just did it again. It's trying to put an engine unit in that it can't put in. Why? Why are you doing this? I'm just watching this inserter as it's trying to insert stuff in. It's not supposed to go anywhere near the top amount of stuff. It's not supposed to go anywhere near the top amount of stuff that you can throw into a building. In fact, buildings often override the stack size. Like you can put more stuff than the stack size in a building. See here, there's 120 gear wheels in this building, and this building accepts more than the stack size of 100. It accepts twice the amount of stuff on its ingredients. Always twice the amount of stuff in its ingredients. Yet in this case, the amount of stuff in its ingredients is equal to the stack size. That shouldn't matter. Hello. Hello, welcome. And I just set it to do one at a... I had just set it to do one item at a time, rather than two. There is a potential because it's stack size 2 and it's using an odd number of engine units. I think that's where we're getting this problem, is it's using an odd number of an ingredient with a stack size 2. But that would be a problem across the board if it's an odd number thing. Hello, welcome to the last 3 minutes of the stream as I'm trying to figure out a problem with why an inserter was attempting to insert more than 50 units of engine units into this machine. Like, excuse me. It already has enough engine units. Why are you trying to put more engine units in before putting in the basic electronic boards? Yeah, that's slightly frustrating. Slightly frustrating. I have single-handedly convinced you, Mr. Hippie Domino TV, or Miss Hippie Domino TV, to play more complex packs like Bob's Angels and the Pie Suite. Thank you for opening mind to greatness. That is modded Factorio. Yes, modded Factorio is great. Fantastic. It is fantastic. It is night and day. It is base Factorio is playing with the little alphabet blocks, the wooden alphabet blocks by comparison to modded Factorio. And it's you watch the first episode of this and you're confused. Why does a lack of biters mean playing without Bob's enemies and Bob's warfare both still... I actually talked about this a little bit ago. I don't like alien artifacts. Period. I don't like dealing with alien artifacts. I don't want to deal with them. That's the only thing that those things add, is alien artifacts and ways to deal with enemies. Why would I... If I'm not playing with enemies, I don't need a way of dealing with enemies to add on to this. And I don't need weapons, I don't need more types of enemies, and I certainly don't need to have anything involving the really bad mechanic that is the alien artifact stuff. I have no desire to do anything with alien artifacts. That's just not on my agenda. I will not do anything with alien artifacts. It's dumb, stupid. It's beyond normal Factorio. That, like, these things were removed for a reason from base Factorio. I guess you didn't know, base Factorio used to have drops. Fighters used to drop stuff, but they don't anymore. At least I think that's what happened. That was all before my time, before I started playing Factorio. It's like, oh yeah, let's force people to have to kill these things. No, they're bad. Biters bad. Anything to do even remotely with biters are bad. I don't want it. No, never. And no point in having like extra weapons if I'm not having biters, or any other mechanic dealing with biters if I don't have to. And the other side point is to this is I still have to do biter refusions anyway to get into Bob's modules in the current state of things. Because yeah, splinters. These stupid things are now required to get into Bob circuits. And yeah, the more advanced versions of these splinters are required for various things. Oh, really? Wait a minute. That's how you get into the... Okay. Cool. Into that. I'm not even going to do anything with that. Crystal tip saw blades. 2. Wow. It adds a rocket engine which gets added to rocket... Again, I don't... No. I don't care about one item. I literally don't care about one item. If Bob wants to add in an item to make a rocket part, then it should be added to the rest of the mod pack. It shouldn't be part of a thing dedicated to biters and killing biters. A thing that adds in new enemies and a thing that's designed around killing of said enemies. If he wants to have a part added to the rocket parts, then it should be part of the rest, some other part of the mod suite that everyone will use. Because I'm not going to bother enabling warfare. I'm not going to enable warfare. Period. I'm not going to discuss that anymore. Just if you don't like that, fine. Don't like it. That's not a thing I'm going to play with. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever. Anyway, we are 3 minutes over time. So on that note, I'm going to be ending things off here. It does look like by changing this to stack size 1 on this inserter, it has helped with this specific circumstance with these engine units and being able to load stuff in. I don't get the priority system on loading in the ingredients, why it wants to put so much stuff in. It's like, you put the freaking stupid circuit boards in. Put the circuit boards in. Don't put the engine units in. Why are you putting 25 more engine units in when you need to put in more basic engine units so this thing can continue to cycle? Like, what? It's dumb. It's stupid. I don't like how it's prioritizing putting stuff in. But anyway, what did we get done today? Just to close things out. I got production of sulfuric acid at the start, just because I had to wait while my stone and which I did set up first. That was the very first thing we did today, was set up dedicated stone production out of slag. I had to wait for steel to happen so that I could get my rail segments being made. I needed rail first. We had 0 rail at the start of the day today, and we've made, like, I don't know, how many cycles of this has gone through thus far? It says it somewhere. Products finished 4,630 times 2 for the number of rails per cycle. So, you know, a lot of rails have been made today thus far. And of course, we also planned out the rail system, started building the rails and planning out what I'm going to be tapping into as we go forward into the next stream. And while I was waiting for all of that to happen, I planned out, gave some thought into how we're going to get into the mineral catalysts to do the individual ore sorting, and ended up with this, which is clean coal. It's essentially clean coal, literally washing coal for the sulfuric wastewater that is being processed into sulfur and then processed with oxygen into the disulfide, and then with adding purified water into the sulfuric acid. This, however, leaves you with the question of, how do I keep this moving? How do I deal with this coke? How can I get rid of this coke if my power grid isn't going to consume all of this coke consistently? Well, what you can do, as it turns out, you can't actually void the steam, because it's a different void that doesn't seem to use either the flare stack or the clarifier, so it actually can't get voided. What you can do is you can convert the coke into carbon, and then you can convert the carbon into carbon monoxide that you can then vent. So as it turns out, you can take the solid coke and void it through carbon monoxide, converting to carbon monoxide, and just providing some providing some purified water to void the carbon monoxide out of carbon. That is a good trick for getting into dedicated sulfuric acid. I do hope that this has been written down somewhere prior to me figuring this out on like the forums or some other guide or some stuff, because this is, I think, a very key way of getting into sulfur early on. And just this is coal in, sulfuric acid out. Just straight up, this is coal in with water, obviously, and sulfuric acid out. Just, I can copy this and paste it wherever I want and just feed it coal and shove out sulfuric acid, if I so desire. Right now, I am siphoning coke, and once that fills, then the carbon. But for now, in the end, this would work and not end up with any byproduct whatsoever, because it is able to void the solid fuel. With that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed today's video and the series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can, of course, support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. And I will see you all on the next one, where we will set up all of this rail stuff, continue doing mining along the system, set up our fuel station, and all of that great, glorious stuff. I will see you all then.